Yeah, so good morning. I'm actually at Fresh Roots today. Yeah, and Fresh Roots is run by the Canadian Mental Health Association, CMHA. Great people, absolutely wonderful people. It's a very affordable place to get breakfast, but it's also a reminder that, well, I used to be homeless. And I could very easily become homeless again. And being homeless when you're 20 is not hard. I mean, anybody can handle it.
I hear you have good writing.
But when you get to be my age, 58, it hurts too much. Yeah. But unfortunately, we live in a world where, working people my age end up losing their homes because rents keep going up, and with increased deregulation, bad landlords are allowed to do whatever they damn well please. And that is hard capitalism, something that conservatives have shoved down our throats quite aggressively, and which also is something that the poorest of the poor who do vote are voting in favor of, because voting against one's own interests does seem to be a very unfortunately common phenomenon among people at the bottom of the socioeconomic pyramid. Now, that's not to say that we should vote liberal. Breakfast. Yeah. Thank y'all. Breakfast. It's not to say that we should be voting liberal, but we definitely should not be voting conservative either. Because, voting against one's own interests is a thing, and it's not a good thing. And yes, as one of the working poor, I am at risk.
Yes.
I am at risk of becoming homeless.
Is that what you
That's a very real phenomenon. The working poor being pushed out into the street as landlords. What's the word? What is the word they use for that when they take a poor neighborhood, kick out the poor people, and give it to the rich? Gentrification. Gentrification is a thing. And it's a thing that unfortunately is encouraged by conservative policies. Hurting the poor really does seem to be a conservative thing. And it's not just a conservative thing anymore, because the liberals have started getting into it. Now, of course, Justin Trudeau is about as liberal as Joe Clark. In fact, he is basically Joe Clark. For those of you who don't remember Joe Clark was the last honest conservative prime minister that we had back in the late 70s. And yes, Joe Clark was a good man. And yes, Joe Clark told the truth that he was going to have to raise taxes. And he got a no confidence vote from his own party, which forced a federal election. And Pierre Trudeau came back in, and he asked Joe Clark for the details of his plan, and Joe Clark gave it to him, and yes, Pierre Elliott Trudeau followed the Joe Clark program, raised taxes, and fixed the economy. That was in the late 70s, early 80s. since then, we have not had an honest conservative anywhere in power. Oh, you get the occasional backbencher. But nobody that actually makes a difference. And that is why we cannot vote conservative in this coming election. Of course, we can't really vote liberal either. By the way, if your riding is the one that Justin Trudeau is running in, I suggest that you vote solidly NDP or Green. Because, yeah, Justin Trudeau hasn't worked out. Admittedly, most of what's wrong with him is stuff that he inherited, but he still refused to fix it. But what's important is he's become a rallying cry for extreme right-wingers who want to make Canada basically North Texas.
Thank you so much.
Which is
Sorry, my pants were like falling down and it was
something we desperately want to avoid. Yeah. Because, yeah, I do not want to become one of the working homeless. And if Pierre Poilievre gets in, there's a very good chance that I will be. Yeah. There's also a very good chance that you will be as well. If the Conservatives get in federally with Poilievre running things, we're all at risk. The entirety of the working poor are at risk of becoming the working homeless.
I will literally believe anything you say. That's what I want.
Something to think about. Something to think about.
I trust people too much.
Anyways, that's my depressing thought for the day. Everybody have a great day out there. Ta-ta.